Briggs.
Sure. Good morning, Chairman Gray, Councilmember Thomas, and members of the Committee of the Whole and Committees on Libraries, Parks, and Recs. My name is Bill Briggs, and I'm the Executive Director of PFLAG, Parents and Friends of Lesbian and Gay. We are a grassroots organization with over 900 members located in the metropolitan D.C. area. Most of our members are actually parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, sisters, and brothers, as well as children and spouses of gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgendered people. I want to thank you all for your leadership in calling for this hearing to analyze the importance of anti-bullying legislation presented before us today. I am testifying to represent my organization's strong support for both of these essential bills, particularly the Bullying Prevention Act of 2010. We believe that this bill has the strongest chance to provide necessary protections to vulnerable LGBT community people and those perceived to be gay, lesbian, bi, or trans. This particular bill has several elements critical to protect LGBT school community members, including full inclusive protections for both sexual orientation and gender identity. These assurances that our loved ones, no matter who they are attracted to or how they identify in their gender, have basic protections to learn in an environment free from bullying and harassment. The bill also provides trainings for the entire school community, giving schools the tools to stop, fix, and prevent bullying from occurring in the classrooms, as well as letting students know what their rights are and how they can report bullying when it occurs. This bill also requires educators to report incidences of bullying, and it also grants anonymous reporting by students and teachers. We are pleased to note that the protections offered in the bill extend to D.C. public schools along with charter schools, public parks, and libraries, along with the University of District of Columbia. Many of my organizations remain dedicated to building safer schools to ensure that schools throughout the District of Columbia offer a learning environment free from bullying for all school community members. Tragically, we know that the lived experience far too many LGBT individuals is quite to the contrary. Just pick up a newspaper and you'll find far too many incidents of persistent malicious bullying, leading so many of our bright and talented LGBT loved ones to contemplate suicide simply because they're perceived as different. And this is talked about quite a few times in our organization. In fact, last week I had a mother call me who has been coming to our support groups to better understand her daughter being a lesbian and to accept her daughter. However, her daughter was tormented and harassed so many times at school that she went out and got pregnant so that people would perceive her as heterosexual so that they would leave her alone. So that's one of the examples that is most recent as occurred, but we also have many other extremes of our youth dropping out of schools or engaging in higher risk activity. While the personal narratives are incredibly... Sorry. Okay.
Why don't you take about 10 seconds and just summarize?
Sure. In closing, while PFLAG supports the Bullying Prevention Act of 2010, we recommend adding 4 elements to the language. These recommendations would include increased cultural competency training for educators and students, encouraging sensitivity to LGBT students, inclusive curriculum that incorporates the historical accomplishments of LGBT people, and 3, mandating reporting system about aggregate incidents of bullying and harassment by both individual schools and D.C. public schools as a whole for purpose of public accountability.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Briggs. You cited one of the situations, one of the consequences you cited of people being bullied was extremely interesting, to say the least. Are you aware of any people who may have attempted suicide as a result of being bullied?
Our agency has received several calls from young people as well as their parents where the young person had suicide ideation of depression or being withdrawn from family activities or activities that they would normally engage in that they felt really good a part of. And so they didn't, I don't know if they fully went through buying the necessary equipment to follow through with suicide, but they did have the feelings of suicide, yes.
Okay.